What is going on, everybody? I am Rob Westerman of GBP Daily, and thank you for tuning in to the Rob Westerman Show. You can find me all over the social sphere at GBP Daily. Shoot me a follow, subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit me up in the DMs. I am always available to talk Packers anytime, any day, and today is Wednesday, January 21st. Wednesday, happy hump day, happy NFC, AFC championship game week. Unfortunately, we are not a part of this weekend's games. Tough, right? It's been a little while. Hope you guys are staying warm out there. It's been pretty cold, and it's going to keep getting colder. This weekend, I think we're looking at highs in the negatives. So that'll be fun, right? Yours truly, staying warm, chilling. Nothing too new on this second week of the offseason. Matt LaFleur, Brian Gutekunst, we talked about yesterday. Both got extensions this past weekend. Ed Policy making the decision to keep the house in order, which I think is the right move. And reports came out earlier this week saying that Ed Policy made that decision the day after the Chicago game last Saturday. A week from last Saturday, which the collapse from being down 21 or being up 21-3 did not sway his decision one way or the other. I think with all that's happened this past year with injuries and everything in between, the leeway he had with Matt LaFleur, with Brian Gutekunst was a pretty long leash, to say the least. So I think it's the right move. I mainly say that for Matt LaFleur specifically because I don't think there were any better options out there. All the coaching options, everybody has their flaws, right? Everyone is out there for a reason. John Harbaugh was the popular name being floated around as far as a potential replacement for Matt LaFleur. And, yeah, I don't think that would have been very smart. Matt has had a lot more success during his time as the Packers head coach, as John has had really outside of his Super Bowl year during his whole entire tenure over in Baltimore. So, and Matt, the 7-year playoff record and the records overall, I feel like that is skewed a little bit with just the type of teams he's had, right? The first few years were with Rodgers, and then we kind of went into what was supposed to be or what should have probably been a rebuild for most teams. And we picked back up right where we left off, right? We made the playoffs every single year with Jordan as a starter, 2 of those years being the youngest team in the league. And this past season still made the playoffs, albeit all the injuries that we had across the team as a whole. So I think it was the right move, bringing Matt back, especially Brian for sure. Brian was always, in my opinion, a lock. I didn't think he was going anywhere. I thought maybe with the way that we finished out the year that Matt might have been on the hot seat a little more than I would have liked to admit. But it's all over with. He is back. He signed a contract extension. No official report on what the money looks like, what his contract looks like. That will never come out. Those are not made public. But Matt is our guy, and he is here to stay, and I'm happy about it. Anybody planning on going to a Bucks game this winter? Anybody planning on maybe going to a Badger basketball game, a Brewers game this upcoming summer? If so, do not buy your tickets anywhere else other than TickPick. They guarantee the cheapest Packers tickets on the market, and if you find cheaper tickets elsewhere, they will refund you 110% of your money back. Same tickets as everybody else: StubHub, SeatGeek, Vivid Seats, Ticketmaster, all those guys, and TickPick is the cheapest every single time. Shout out to TickPick. They are the best in the biz. Let's hop into the comment section here, shall we? And as always, if you want to be a part of the show, give me a call on the Nicolet Law hotline, 319-242-2332, the Midwest personal injury law firm that actually shows up when you need them. If you've been hurt in a crash, fall, or another accident, the last thing you want to deal with is the insurance companies and paperwork. Nicolet Law takes that off your plate so you can focus on healing up. They walk you through your options. They handle the insurance companies and fight to get you what is fair. No upfront fees, no guesswork, just local attorneys who have your back. Call 1-800-NICOLET or visit nicolet.com. What do we got going on in the comment section? How's everybody's week going? We are full-fledged into the off-season early, like we have been the past few years. Week 2 of the off-season, right? We've got some decent games coming up this weekend. The Patriots and Broncos on the AFC side and the Rams and the Seahawks on the NFC side. So I'm okay with any of those teams, right? As long as it isn't the Bears, Vikings, or Lions, and it is neither of them, thankfully. What do we got? My man, Nick LaFleur has selected awful coaches other than Hafley. This year was one of many LaFleur-led meltdowns. Nick, you're not wrong. He has not had the best track record of picking defensive coordinators, right? And I will go out to say on a limb here, I think Jeff Hafley is or was a little bit overrated, in my opinion. I don't want to get in trouble for saying that, but I think Hafley was a little overrated. When Micah went down, clearly we became one of the worst defenses in the league, and that's not good. So we'll see what happens here as far as the DC job. There's been quite a few interviews set up already. We'll see. They're casting a wide net, which is good. They're going to probably interview as many guys as possible, and hopefully we can get it right. And not only the defensive coordinator, what about the special teams coordinator? Rich Bisaccia is still our special teams coordinator, and I know he wears more than just that hat with the Packers. He's also the assistant head coach. So how they view him goes beyond the special teams performance, but the special teams in general have been horrid these past few years, these past couple decades, really. And we need a big overhaul of everybody involved with coaching the special teams because it cost us multiple games this year. It's cost us multiple games in the past. It's cost us multiple playoff games. We need a complete rehaul. So thank you, Nick, for hopping in. Appreciate you as always. My man, Yosef, in the house. Who are we rooting for the rest of the way now? Yosef, I strongly dislike that we are in this position year after year, right? Always having to pick another team to latch on to after we choke away a playoff game. Hopefully next year will be different, but we've got the Rams, Seahawks, Patriots, and Broncos left. And with no Bo Nix, the Broncos are pretty much done for, right? So no point in rooting for them. So that leaves New England, LA, or Seattle. And Seattle is still on my naughty list for what happened back in 2014. So not the Seahawks. The Rams, I mean, Devontae is over there. So it'd be great to see him get a ring, I guess, even though he left. Patriots, of course, just finished up having the best dynasty, one of the best dynasties ever, and they're already back in the mix. They'll probably be going to the Super Bowl unless they somehow can't beat Jared Stidham and the Broncos. But, yeah, I want to see a Rams-Patriots Super Bowl. Not sure who I would root for. I do like Drake May. I like Mike Vrabel as the head coach over there. They're fun to watch. And I do like Stafford and, of course, Devontae. I guess you won't find me complaining too much on who wins it all. Hopefully, next year, this type of question won't be able to be asked since hopefully we'll still be alive. So thank you, Yosef. What else we got? Ryan, are the Bears back? Ryan, I think the rivalry is back a little bit, but I don't think the Bears are back. I think I hope and think that they miss the playoffs next year, right? We saw what happened with the Vikings 2 years ago and how they were winning all of those close games and in pretty unique ways. And then this past year, they were terrible. And I don't think the Bears will have that big of a drop off, but the Vikings did have some roster changes, and that was a part of that. But I don't think the Bears will be getting as many turnovers next year as they did this past season, and hopefully that leads to them not having as many wins and missing the playoffs. So that's my thought process. And I mean, you know me, that's coming from a Packers fan, so not the best expert analysis, but that is the hope at least. So. What do you think, Ryan? Are the Bears back? We shall see, right? Phil, my man, in the house. To quote Jerry Maguire, it's not show friends, it's show business. We don't want friends of LaFleur. Bring in somebody to get the job done. Absolutely, Phil. I'm with you 100%. And I feel like nowadays most coaches are all like buddies and friends, outside of Ben Johnson and Matt LaFleur. So it's kind of hard to avoid that. But yeah, you don't want his buddy coming in that he's, best friends with. And we need to have a coach come on in and get the job done because frankly, in the second half of the season, Jeff Hafley was not getting the job done. And neither were the guys on the defensive side of the ball. And so, yeah, we need somebody to come in, bring a little juice. That's what we need. And Tristan's coming in with a similar question. Defensive coordinator, who are we getting? There's a bunch of names out there right now, right? Matt LaFleur has already reached out to Eagles defensive back coach Christian Parker and then Vikings DB coach Durante Jones to set up interviews. So that's our starting point. They are reportedly going to cast a wide net, which is good. Christian Parker, he was under Matt LaFleur as a quality control assistant back in 2020. And then he went to the Broncos and obviously most recently with the Eagles. Oh, excuse me. As far as Durante Jones, he's actually already got a few interviews lined up. He's already done one with the Cowboys, the Jets, and he's got one coming up with the Giants. So a hot commodity out there. Some other names to watch. DeMarcus Covington, our current defensive line coach. Jim Leonard, who is over with the Broncos right now. And we all know Jim Leonard if you are a Badgers fan like myself. What about Raheem Morris? He could be a target, as my man Joshua just chimes in the chat. He just got fired from the Falcons after being their head coach for the last few years. So a lot of good candidates out there, and they will go fast. So hopefully we can get some guys in for some interviews, pick the right one, and just keep it rolling, right? Gotta have somebody that brings in that juice. Our guys this past year, we didn't create turnovers. We didn't really play smash mouth defense. Everybody outside of Micah was lacking, the juice or the energy. Evan Williams at times was bringing it, but Quay Walker, Edgerrin Cooper, those guys too. Every once in a while, it's just we need it every game. And you saw plays of certain guys taking plays off, jogging around out there. Keyshawn Nixon, Rashawn Gary, to name a couple. We can't be having that. So we need a coach who can bring out the best of everybody. So hopefully we can bring somebody in that can do that. So, all right. What else we got, my man Juan? Malik and Dobbs to Miami. Are they going to be the Green Bay of Florida? My man Derek, also in the chat. Do you think Jeff Hafley takes Malik Willis to Miami with him? I wouldn't be surprised, right? We've got John Eric Sullivan over there as the new GM, and then obviously Jeff Hafley as the new head coach. Wouldn't surprise me one bit if they were to bring Malik Willis in, kind of serve as maybe a bridge quarterback until they could draft one and get them up to speed. I think that'd be fun to see Malik Willis down in Miami. I think he would do pretty well. But Romeo Dobbs, I don't know about that. I think he is going to get paid. I don't think it's going to be with the Packers. And I'm all right with that. I've enjoyed watching Romeo play and think he's a good player, but I don't think the Packers are going to pay what he will demand on the open market. So Romeo is probably a goner. All right, guys, that is going to do it for me today. Thank you again for tuning in. Always love talking Packers footballs with you guys. Hit me up on social media at GBP Daily. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's free. Click that button right down there for me. I really appreciate that. Any sort of interaction helps myself and helps the page. I will be back and at it again tomorrow. Thank you again for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, and I will catch you guys later. Thank you.